address my next question to Mr. Vinesh, who practices occurrent behavior, experimenting relentlessly. So, Mr. Vinesh, as an expert in the IVF space, in your opinion, what is the effective post-COVID growth model for single specialty hospital chains in India? Can you also throw some light on the steps and measures they can take to successfully overcome the current crisis? So over to you, Mr. Vinesh.
Everyone, good evening to all the attendants. Thank you very much to India Healthcare Leadership Forum to organize this interesting program. I find this very interesting because there is a lot of exchange of ideas, and I think that's the best way to learn. I also want to thank Dr. Hari Prasad for a very inspiring keynote address. I personally related to a lot of things in the inspiration. I also relate to one of the aspects is I am very eternal optimist, and I somehow have never felt that this is a crisis which is going to damage humanity or global economy to a greater extent. I believe it has came for us to learn and grow. Overall as people, overall as human being, and also overall as professional, we will learn a lot of things from this crisis. Being an optimistic, I will start first to answer your question, Sakshi. Is that from last 6 months or so, wherever you go, whether you go out and talk to professionals, whether you are on webinars, con calls, everything is happening digital, all the meetings. We all talk about managing the current crisis. And I want to give you examples that which everybody knows. We have overcome World Wars I and II. We have overcome past pandemics, which were even worse than this. I am sure that we will overcome COVID also, if not today, maybe in next few months. I'll give you some parameters. I just came back from Hyderabad today. I traveled after a long time. I went to Abu Dhabi about a week, 10 days before. You go to, you hit roads in Bombay, and you see there are 12 to 13 million people who come on road in Bombay now, out of the population of 23 million. I was in Hyderabad yesterday evening, and I was stuck up in traffic jam in Banjara Hills and Jubilee Hills. I went to Dubai and Abu Dhabi last week, and I saw it was as happening and as normal as it can be. Though there are protocols which are very strict, you have to wear mask. Once you land, you are done RT-PCR test. Once you are negative in 15-16 hours, you are free bird. I can see that we are inching towards, limping towards normalcy back. I mean, that's the way I look. If you take some of the parameters and numbers, we have reached pre-COVID fuel usage last month in India. Petrol, diesel is 6% minus still. Our GST mop-up has reached 90% plus of pre-COVID. I can sense two things. One, either we have started to learn to live with COVID, or we are sensing that because the fatality rate in India is a lot of in control, recovery rate also is very good. It is limping back towards some normal. So it may sound slightly different, but I want to focus and I want to answer your question with a lot of optimism. Are we talking about post-COVID growth? Are we focusing on post-COVID growth, or we are only focusing on how to manage the current P&L? Again, to substantify my argument, I will give you some numbers. As a country in India, I am a specialist in IVF. I have not done anything in my life excepting managing IVF business, 27 years. And we do about 250,000 cycles per annum in India in 1,752 centers. It may sound surprising. We are number 2, number 3 IVF market in the world, only after Japan and China. China numbers we don't know exactly, but we at least know Japan numbers. India will become capital of IVF business in next 5 years because of our demography of very high number of youth population, and owing to that and changing lifestyle, high number of subfertile population. Out of 247,000 cycles we did in 19, we lost almost 90% of the cycle in the first quarter this year because of lockdown. In the second quarter, starting from July, the industry went up to 25-30% of pre-COVID level. In the third quarter now, we are expecting that, and I can substantify a number, we will be around 65-70% of pre-COVID levels. All the organized sectors in IVF have come back to 60-65%. What is expected is that in the fourth quarter of this financial year, it will be almost around 85-90% of pre-COVID level. Now, total, I'm just giving an example from IVF industry to relate with other industry. We will lose about 100,000 cycles this year out of 250,000 cycle. If COVID would have not happened, we would have been on 270, 280,000 cycles with around 14-15% growth, which was expected. So we have lost 120,000 IVF cycles in our country because of lockdown, because of COVID, and which is very understandable. My point is that India has the highest urge of parenthood across the world. Maybe not right socially, but there is a lot of societal pressure. And I don't think in our country, if we get married and if you don't have kid, you can be free from societal pressure. This urge of parenthood in India and the societal pressure, right or wrong, is different thing. This 120,000 cycle lost will come back to the market, will come back to the industry in 2021, starting from Q2. That's what is expected. If this comes back, not even considering any growth which we have seen in last 10 years, we will have about 350,000 IVF cycles to be performed in the next financial year. My point is that, are we ready? Because most of the players, unorganized players, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Hari Prasad, have given up because they could not sustain the pressures of fixed cost and managing their employees and managing the business. Most of the organized players have halted their expansion plan. They have cut down on their people strength. Most of them have not given increments to the team. Forget about bonuses or any other encouraging things. The sentiment at present is weak. The sentiment of team at present is weak. People are not being very optimistic. Whereas I believe, and I firmly believe, that we will have a post-COVID growth which will be very phenomenal and which will be a V-shaped growth, V-shaped improvement. And as an industry, I think we have to think about that. It may come after 6 months, but it is not too far. In that context, I have a very firm belief, and I can give you examples on what we are doing at present, is that the most important factor or critical factor for that to be prepared is to have our team ready for it. So while we have gone through a worst phase, and I think worst phase is behind us, it has started looking up now. And it is important that we keep up sentiment of our team. It is important that we keep our team motivated. It is important that we keep our team intact. It is important that during the time when we have less work, we train our people. We do some investment in training and skill them proper. And we also, during this transformational phase or during this very unprecedented phase which we have gone, we have learned many things. One of the things is that the telemedicine, the digital ecosystem has become more than ever important. So a lot of investment in IoT platforms, a lot of the investment in HIMS, a lot of investment on making right digital asset for future is very, very important. From the way I can see the numbers, in future, we will have a lot of leads or patients who will try to find healthcare service provider from digital medium rather than B2B medium, rather than word of mouth medium. So in the time when we have less work, to focus on technology, to train our people on technology is the investment which I believe. I also have a very strong belief that though P&L are stressed, though there are most of the companies have suffered losses, or they have suffered they have suffered from significant reduction in the profits. I think this is a passing phase. This is a phase where we have learned. But as far as 2021 or the fiscal 21-22 is concerned, I am a firm believer that we will see a very strong, significant post-COVID growth. And two things which will sail us through or will help us to emerge victorious is, one, a very optimistic and a capable leadership in the organization. Second, to use this time, to use this difficult period to train your people, skill your people, keep them intact, keep them motivated, and do not lose focus on managing your team well. And third, that when the growth comes back, we should have our infrastructure ready. So This is what I believe, and I can give you one example to substantify again my argument that I have recently joined this new organization, and there were many friends and colleagues in industry who asked me during the post-COVID time, this was not the time to leave a safe zone and join something as a healthcare startup. I am being able to successfully convince my investors who are in Middle East private equity firm that this is the time to take leap of faith. This is the time when we should be ready with 7 centers, IVF centers in next financial year, so that we are ready to take post-COVID growth. This is the time where you will get assets, you will get facilities at a subdued rents. This is the time where you get best of the talent from market. This is the time where you can go and negotiate your terms very well. And if I can give you a very broad economics, even if we save 1 lakh rupees on rent to find a new site per month, and you are trying to log 7 sites, you are saving 7 lakh rupees per month on rent. That is 84 lakh rupees on rent for 7 centers in a year. That is 4.5 crore rupees in 5 years. For a private equity, it matters a lot. 5 crore rupees in EBITDA improvement will give you a valuation of 50 crore rupees. It's just that we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that the business will bounce back. It will not going anywhere. And at the same time, we have to believe in ability of our team. That's where I come from. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
These are very important points, particularly in this crisis time. How are you trying to maximize opportunity and investing and bringing out a new chain of fertility centers? And we know that from your past record, they will again do extremely well, and our best wishes are with you. But I think the approach that you are taking is a big learning for everyone. And in this time, you will get a lot of opportunities in terms of cost optimization, and which will benefit you in the long term. So this is the right time to invest. And there's a clear-cut example in front of us where they are bringing in private equity money and they are investing in India. So thanks a lot for sharing this. Over to you, Sakshi.
Thank you, Mr. Vinesh. Thanks for the optimism and the positivity which you spread around. So coming over